solid win. First time we've ever beat Warren Wilson in our two-year history. But Coach, let's just start with you from playing at their place. What were some things that you took away from that last game against these guys that we had to do differently this time?
Yeah, I think we saw that we could push the ball a little bit more, and that helped us get a lead early. And we also saw that there were some adjustments we needed to make to how we ran some of our offensive sets, and I think that was big. They played no zone against us at their place, came out, and it was a good move. We struggled in the first half, but second half I was just really proud of the way the guys, moved the basketball, attacked inside, and kind of ran them out of the zone with good ball movement. We rebounded very well tonight, 46-28, which is a huge margin with four guards against. They had a bigger lineup out there. So I thought we just had a good effort tonight.
Defensively, pretty notorious for their team. They have four guys that really kind of carry their offensive production from a defensive strategy. How do you plan with that?
Yeah, I think one of the things about having the four guards on the floor is we could switch a lot of stuff, and they work really hard on offense. They cut hard, and those guys are open. They're gonna knock down shots, as you saw. They would come off screen, have very little room, and knock down a shot. Elevating. They're missing a player. They have a young man that got injured, and that really, that kind of limited their depth a little bit, and that kind of caused them to go a little bit bigger tonight. And it makes a big difference. When they get the three guards that they have in a flow, they're tough. But I told our guys I felt like we could guard them if we would switch and communicate and not let them just slice us off the dribble like they did at their place.
Larry, let's come down to you, and then we'll hit Zach after that. You had 2 points in the first half and then 14 in the second half. What did you do at halftime in rethinking, or what were they doing that was causing you to struggle for baskets in the first half?
They know that we love to use the ball screen, so they just always are playing over it, and they try to push it down, so I can't use it really. And so we've worked a lot this past week with just doing different things off of it, so we can get other openings and trying to work around it, because they're a really good scouting team, so they just they know what plays are which and what movements we do. And I think they're just, they're a good defensive team, and so they keyed on, one of my strengths, and that's pretty much it. It's just they tend to push the ball screen down.
Talk about, you guys, with you kind of being limited in the first half, guys like Darnell. I think Darnell had 9 points in the first half alone, 11 for the game. Talk about the other guys, even Zach, that are able to step up when you're not able to get the shots that you normally do.
Yeah, whenever Zach shoots a three, I always think it's going in. And, and Darnell's been playing really good these last few games. And I think that just to see guys stepping up at the end of the year is a really good sign, especially when you're going into tournament time. And it's really encouraging to see guys just having confidence. And, I got lots of confidence in every one of us. So.
Zach, let's talk to you for a little bit. Let's talk about the rebounding first before we get back to the shooting. 11 rebounds tonight, and you were playing on kind of the block in a lot of the defensive sets. Let's talk about battling for boards.
Yeah, I guess I think it's it's a team rebounding type thing. We've been really focusing on helping each other out. I think part of it was my guy didn't crash a whole lot, which was nice. So I was able to roam around a little bit and get the loose balls. But I've taken it personally that I'm not going to let my guy get rebounds over me, and I'm going to make sure if we have to rotate out on people and it leaves somebody down low, I'm going to leave whatever man I'm out on the perimeter and just going to dive in there and try to make sure we don't give an offensive rebound up. And just tonight, seeing the ball kind of came my way a little bit more. I felt good physically, so I was able to get up a little bit. So that was helpful. But I think it was one of those things where our team just played really good defense, and the ball kind of found its way to me, and fortunately I was in the right place for it.
On an offensive side, you missed a couple of your first shots. And
Yeah,
it seemed like,
badly.
And then it seemed like from there you didn't miss the rest of the night. 5 for 9 from 3-point range. Just what was going well?
I felt good the last couple games. I think we're just in a better rhythm offensively. And I think for us, we're better as a team when I can get a couple looks early that look real good and that get me in rhythm, even if I missed them, because I missed them both real badly. But they were both good looks, and from then on out, I was able to get a rhythm, make sure I was in my stride, and everything just kind of felt good from there. I've just felt good the last couple games, and hopefully it'll keep going. I know Larry's getting me good passes, and guys are doing their part, and that just helps everybody else too. And Larry's getting where he needs to go, Darnell's getting where he needs to go, and Evan hit 2 real big ones, real timely ones tonight. And when we got 2 shooters out there on the floor who can make them, it's just going to make things a lot easier. So.
All right, Coach. Looking ahead, you've had kind of a difficult week with the snow and a lot of reschedules and postpones and stuff like that. The guys really seemed focused tonight. Really seemed like they really wanted to come out and get this win. How do you build off of this and go into the next game?
Yeah, I think they did a good job of overcoming not having classes for 2.5 days. We practiced well. We were down some guys because we didn't have the off-campus guys couldn't get on, and then we have a young man who's really sick, and so we were 10. It was like coaching a high school team again, and they just worked hard. They came in, they worked hard, they got better each day, and pushed each other, and they're competing really well, and that's what we got to take into next week. Southern Wesleyan is going to be ready to get that game back at home. So we're going to have to play extremely well. I like our matchups with them. I really do. That was the first game we really went 4 guards, on purpose. And, we played really well. So I'm looking forward to that. They're going to have film on that now, and, they're going to be ready. So, we'll have some adjustments that we're going to make, but ultimately it's just going to be, can we play great defense again and limit them? They're a great offensive rebounding team. And because of that, we were able to limit offensive rebounds, and we got out and ran and got a lot of easy buckets. I think Darnell had 18 points. I think 16 of them were just in transition alone. So, they're going to work to make sure he doesn't get that again. So that's going to leave someone else available. We just got to keep pushing the ball. And I think, Zach hit it on the head. We're in a flow. We're in a rhythm. We need to stay in that, realizing going on the road now. We've been at home for a while. Going on the road that, it's harder to play on the road. But, these guys are all seniors and sophomores. The sophomores are now juniors, and the freshmen are now sophomores. And, the seniors are, I don't know what they are. I guess they're still seniors. But, experience is not something we're lacking. Now it's just a matter of going and executing. And, we got 2 road games and then that make-up home game. So we got another, brutal 3-game week. But it's a week where, we can keep some momentum, continue to build on the momentum of this week and the effort of this week. I'm excited about what we're looking at the end of next week. But, 13-13, our first 3-game win streak, just a lot of things came down tonight, beating Warren Wilson, and they're a good team. Coach Mons does a great job with them, and, to be able to beat them was gratifying, and they're going to go on and do well in their national tournament. And, they won it all last year at their, level. And so, that was tonight. That was a nice win for us at home.